welcome Girl Scout Troop 1608 down to the front here, and they're going to lead us in the pledge this evening. I pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Good job.
Who wants to sing a solo? Ever come back?
Should have just let her sing.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
That was awesome.
All right, and like I said, you guys can stay for the whole meeting, but you don't have to. Doug was kind enough to give them a tour around Village Hall beforehand, so they are attuned to Village Hall and where everything is. All right, call the roll, please.
Trustee Sperling.
Here.
Trustee Lee.
Here.
Trustee Heinz. Trustee Youngerman.
Yay.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
And Trustee Bond.
Here.
All right, we're all here this evening. Move on. We have public participation. It's a 2-minute opportunity. Any member of the public can address the board. There are no age requirements, so anybody that has anything to add could come down.
How about singing?
Yeah. All right, hearing none, I'll go ahead and move on. We have 3 items on the consent. I'll read those and entertain a motion for approval. Minutes of the village board meeting of October 10th, executive session minutes of September 26th, and accounts payable through October 20th.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Youngerman.
Yay.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Bond.
Yes.
Trustee Sperling.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
And Trustee Heinz.
That carries 6-0. Thank you. Moving on, we have 2 items for separate action that are connected, so we'll discuss them at one point. They're both first reading, so we won't be taking action. We have Ordinance 1744 granting a special use for outdoor storage at 1415 Boar Avenue, and Ordinance 1745 granting a variance to the west side yard setback requirement for 1415 Boar Avenue.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight, as you've mentioned, we have the first reading for the 1415 Boar Avenue concrete industrial site. This is a piece of property that the Plan Commission looked at their last meeting, reported to you, and you accepted their findings of recommendation to deny the special use and the variances that are associated with the request based on a previous site plan. Since that time, there's been a major modification to the site plan, and only a minor setback variance on the west side is being requested. They've also indicated that they will pave the lot so that the special use will be on a hard surface versus the originally proposed alternative surface. So with that in mind, staff is recommending approval. As you stated, this is the first reading, so the final action would be in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
I have a question for Attorney Anderson. On both of these, it's saying we need 2/3 vote of the village board.
Correct. That's because the zoning board of appeals and the plan commission's recommendations were for denial. However, interestingly enough, your normal majority is, of course, 4 of you. 2/3 of the board is also 4. So strangely enough, there is no difference except that you will actually have to have 4 of you vote in favor of it as opposed to a simple majority of who's sitting here. A distinction probably without a difference. It's not going to be very difficult for you to get to 2/3.
Okay, thank you.
If I could also point out, within the ordinance itself, the draft ordinance, there is an indication that there are no variances associated with this special use request. That is technically not correct. We'll have to modify the text before your next meeting because there would be a slight setback variance on the west side as indicated.
All right. One of the comments that came up either at Plan Commission or this meeting, the last time we talked about it, was what's going to be stored in the storage area.
Correct.
Have they clarified that?
Yes, they've clarified it. It'll be concrete material, stone, and topsoil. There'll be no mulch associated with this operation.
It'll have that same height restriction that we,
Yes. And I might also note that, clarification, the lot would be completely enclosed with a fence. I believe that
believe-
that was a question last time.
And I believe they also said they would not have more than enough to fill a trailer at any
I
given
don't
time.
believe that they said that, but they intend to have designated bin areas with concrete barriers in the storage yard itself.
And do we have a way, can we enforce that, or they can just have as much as they want as long as it doesn't go over the height requirement?
We can write anything we want to into the special use request, so if that's the desire of the board, state so, and we can include it in the ordinance.
Thank you.
They raised it from 4 foot to 6 foot fence too, didn't they?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Trying to remember the surroundings. Is there residential anywhere near this?
Not really. It's primarily an industrial street. This is the dead end of an industrial street. To the west is vacant property, which just so happens to be also owned by this applicant. It's vacant now. I believe it's been farmed in the past. On the other side of that larger tract, there would be unincorporated residential areas. But essentially around the site itself, no, it's M2 and M1.
And that person was at the planning commission meeting, and all his only worry was he wanted a blacktopped instead of gravel, so the dust in that, and as soon as they said they'd do that, he said, Dan Nagel said, I have no objection, and he's around them.
any other comments for staff? Is there any signage on this, associated with this?
I don't know if there's signage, but there are no signage variance requests, so
Okay.
they would have to meet the sign code for both wall signage, and if they chose to do a monument sign in front, then it would have to meet the signage code for the industrial area.
Okay. All right, if there are no other comments, if you have any comments between now and 2 weeks from now, send those to staff. Otherwise, is there any opposition to putting this on consent 2 weeks from now?
No problem.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, moving on. Item 7, we have items for discussion. We have a liquor license request for Shell gas station. With that, I'll turn it over to the chief.
Thank you very much. Tonight, in your packet, there was a letter submitted by Shell from Montgomery Road and Douglas. Moses is not here to introduce you to him. If you'd still like to discuss it, I'm open for a discussion. We currently have 3 Class Ms, all on the west side, Speedway, Murphy Oil, and Orchard Stop. Nothing on the east side, so we can, I can proceed however you'd like. I will contact Moses tomorrow and see what happened and why he wasn't here.
I would think it's this important, he, gentleman would be here, but it's a small inside,
Correct.
and he wants to have liquor, hard liquor,
Yes.
plus
Beer and
beer. I don't know,
And it is contingent on him buying the gas station. He's not the current owner. So he wants direction from us prior to buying the gas station.
do we have a liquor license strictly beer only?
We do not.
Well, and he's not, yeah. And he's not requesting one of,
I was gonna say, we don't
That
really
anyway,
want to
yeah.
get involved in that, but to me, looking at that space, it's almost as small as our room in here. I don't know how he would have all of what he's asking for.
Right. No, sell at retail general alcohol and liquor products, so I don't know what the list consists of.
I'm thinking of the convenience store, they sell like the pints and stuff a lot. You know, they're not putting cases of bourbon on the shelf, they're selling pints and things like that at most of the convenience stores. I think that's what Murphy does too.
And I'll be able to check in with him and see.
That's what we got going with Rockies at the end of Alcott Road. He wanted the little bottles, if you remember, and we said, no way. And if this guy's thinking, because of his room, I could see him selling gas in a six-pack to a guy to go, or a 24-pack. But to turn around and guy have a selection of scotch or, you know, big bottles, there's no room for that. So, like, you're right. He's probably thinking, I'll sell this little stuff, which the guy will open on the road as soon as he leaves the gas station. That's what we told Rocky. And we said, no way do you bring that little stuff. You can't sell that. And that was one of the contingents of Rocky. So,
And we get back to the same issue. We have a lot of foot traffic over there, and we have the problem when the small bottles were being sold, that then the bottles get tossed as people are walking through the neighborhoods.
I don't think we need another gas station with a liquor license. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. And our attorney had something he wanted to add to.
Just as far as the small bottles are concerned, I remember the discussion when we were talking about expanding liquor sales to gas stations in particular. I think it was out on the west side there. I want to say, and I could be wrong, that we prohibited those.
right.
So even if they wanted that and they got this liquor license, I don't think they could sell those, just so we're clear on that. They may not even.
We
know
did set a size limit that had to
Right.
be over a certain size.
So those are just prohibited by M in general?
Correct. You're not going to be able
Okay.
to sell those in any gas station as it presently stands.
Okay.
And also, Moses just arrived, so I'd like to introduce tonight Moses. Speak for a few words.
Hi, actually, my name is Jeevan. I'm the partner over here with Moses. Hi, everybody. My name is Jeevan. I'm a partner with Moses. We were planning to buy the gas station, the Shell gas station on the corner, and we just put in a request to see if we would have the opportunity to sell liquor in the store.
My comment, I guess, was I've been in that store and it's very small. And where would you put it at? Especially the liquor products. I can see a 6-pack or 12 or 24-pack room for that. But the liquor, as far as liquor goes, I don't understand where you would put it.
So, actually, on the side of the store, we haven't bought the store yet, but we've had the opportunity to go over there and look at it. Towards the, I believe, the west side, we do have some additional space where we can put in new coolers. We're not looking to sell a lot of liquor. I mean, it's just beer. Basically, that's what the interest of the community was. We were able to go to the store and, have a feel for the community over there, people coming in and asking for the liquor. So that's the reason we wanted to see if, that was a possibility.
So like you're saying, it's more beer you're interested in, but you
Yes.
came back with the liquor on your letter here. Liquor products, alcohol, liquor. In other words, we don't like small bottles, in other words, because that's not like pint bottles, because it tracks a different element, let's put it that way.
So just to clarify a little bit what Trustee Lee was talking about, currently, Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So no, I think our idea was to just sell beer,
okay.
not the small bottles of.
Mhm. So right now, we don't have an ordinance, we don't have a class for that liquor license. The board may be agreeable to creating such a class just for beer sales, and we could probably do that, correct? Is that something that you would be in support of?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. That kind of changes things a little bit for me. I think we've indicated to several other applicants that are in this.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. We've indicated to several other applicants in this area that have wanted to open up, a liquor type store. We've, heard their presentations before and kind of sent them along, saying that we're full in that area. We've really had a lot of interest for liquor stores in that area, and we had several that, some that have moved locations and closed and reopened. So, but just the beer only, might change that for some members of the board. It does, it does a little bit for me, assuming that it can fit in there. But
Yeah, I think around that neighborhood, I don't think there's any liquor stores out there. And I didn't spend a lot of time, but maybe like 10, 15 days. And the customers coming in, we've asked them what they thought about it. And they definitely preferred, having access to beer, buying beer in that community. So
Could we review the relationship with gaming and this type of liquor license? Is gaming a possibility if a license is granted?
I don't think so from what I've heard. It would either have to be an establishment that serves food, which we haven't heard any of, or they'd have to have a pouring liquor license, which they aren't even applying for. The only other possibility would be if they were a truck stop, but I don't think that they meet the acreage requirements for that. So I don't think that's a very realistic issue. Not your question, the potential of it existing.
Yep, thank you. I'm still skeptical about the need for another liquor vendor in that particular area. Haven't made up my mind, but it's a well-served area in terms of liquor already.
There are 3 locations right there in a very small area that already can sell liquor and beer. I'm not in favor of this at all.
Are you going to buy the building, or are you just buying the franchise?
yeah, we're buying the building.
Building, okay. Because the person that's in there now, I think, is renting it, and it's high, and I could see where he needed something else, and I could see just beer, but we're tired of liquor stores. We don't want any more liquor stores. But I could see without a gaming license, it's hard, the way gas prices jump around, for somebody to make it at that corner. If you're buying the building, that's your biggest advantage. Beer wouldn't be bad if that's all he's got, because he's not going to have much more. But the liquor part of it, definitely, we all said we don't want a liquor store in there. So I guess you got to see his point that people from the trailer camp and some others walking around, driving around that particular area, Harmony Hill's right behind them. It's quicker than going all the way down farther on Douglas.
Well, La Chiquita has a liquor license. And
Pardon?
La Chiquita has a liquor license
Exactly.
Right,
It's only
and-
another block to go.
across the street.
Yeah.
But have you ever walked into a gas station that hasn't sold beer?
Yeah, that most of them do. It's just they were in the car, La Chiquita's there, guy across the street, and Walgreens. But even Walgreens, as you notice, wanted more for the beer because the person walks in the store and grabs it for convenience. These guys, for gasoline, is more convenience to, okay, just give me a 6-pack now, and I don't care what the price is, because if I go down farther, it's just inconvenient. But, I'll, as long as he just wants a beer license, I'm not vastly against it, but it's up to everybody. But
yeah. So at this point, our 3 options that we usually walk through is to proceed, no, we're not interested, or we need more information. And we're either undecided, or I'm sensing that we could use some more information in this. I know Teresa and Trustee Hines have indicated they're not interested.
I would only be interested if we had a beer-only license, which we do not currently have.
Right, and I agree with Trustee Bond. Against the liquor, but I'm okay with the beer.
Yeah, I'm in favor of the beer, and I don't know what's involved with us creating that license for just the beer sales.
I'm for that too.
Okay. So
It's okay. I just want to add one more thing. I mean, we're a small businessman, obviously. The competition around that corner because of the other gas station down the street is right now huge. So if you don't have liquor, it's it will be hard for us. It'll be very challenging for us to survive over there based on only gas.
And you're saying liquor, you mean beer?
Yeah,
Beer.
beer.
Okay.
The other station down the street does not have a liquor license. They're likely to want one if we,
No, Circle K does.
do they have a
Don't they?
license?
Yeah, I think we're sure they do, don't they?
I'm not aware of it, but I'm not an expert at it.
You know if they,
No, Circle K, the one on Montgomery Road. They don't have a liquor license?
The only three are out west.
And the people that are operating the Shell now do not have a liquor license.
No, they don't.
Right.
All right, so it sounds like a majority,
Reasons they're, you know, I guess, for lack of better words, they're falling apart and they're trying to sell it. And, you know.
And the trustee Hines and I both live in that area, so we're very aware of what happens. And again, there is a lot of foot traffic. I see a lot of people walking up and down Montgomery Road with their whatever size packages of beer. So that's my concern, and that's why I said there's 3 right in that area where people can go in, whether they're shopping, they're stopping in with their car, or they're walking. And I just don't think that we need to add anything there. So that's my opinion. That's where I'm coming from.
okay. It sounds like there's a majority of the board that is in support of this. So what we would do is move forward with our option 1 that we say, which is to proceed with the background check. Our attorneys would draft up a new class of license for beer only, and then this would come back to the board for a final vote at some point in the future. I think it's probably pending the background check, and so then we would make that decision at that time.
Well, thank you. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone, for your time.
All right, we'll move on to newer unfinished business.
Just one thing. I just wanted to point out today is World Polio Day. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. It's Rotary International's biggest cause, and they have been fighting polio since 1985. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, hearing nothing else, Plan Commission meeting November 3rd, and the next Village Board meeting will be November 14th at 7 p.m. We do not have executive session this evening, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Trustee Hines?
Yay.
Trustee Youngerman?
Yay.
Trustee Marisak?
yes.
Trustee Bond?
Yes.
Trustee Spurling?
Yes.
And Trustee Lee?
Yes.
And we're adjourned. Thank you.